Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the hidden treasures of American pocket change and uncover the real stories behind the coins you use every day. Top 4 first up today. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1995 Washington quarter, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but holds exciting possibilities for collectors who know what to look for. If you have ever searched your pocket change and wondered whether an ordinary-looking quarter could secretly be worth a fortune, today's story will absolutely grab your attention. We are talking about the 1995 Washington quarter, a coin from the legendary Washington quarter series, struck at the historic United States Mint in Philadelphia. At first glance, it looks like just another everyday 25-cent piece. But under the right circumstances, especially with rare mint errors or extraordinary conditions, this coin can become a highly desirable collector's item. The 1995 quarter carries the P mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1995, millions of these quarters were struck for circulation. Because of this large mintage, most examples you find, even in dirty or heavily circulated condition, are worth only face value. Dirt, wear, scratches, and discoloration usually reduce a coin appeal rather than increase it. However, collectors don't just look at the date. They look for something unusual that sets one coin apart from millions of others. The design of the Washington quarter has deep roots in American history. The obverse features the profile of George Washington, honoring the first president of the United States. The reverse of the 1995 issue still carried the classic eagle design used before the state quarters program began in 1999. This classic look makes the 1995 part of the original long-running series that collectors have followed for generations. Now let's talk about value, because that is where excitement builds. In normal circulated and dirty condition, a 1995 quarter is typically worth only 25 cents. Even in uncirculated mint state condition, most examples sell for just a few dollars. The reason is simple: high mintage and easy availability. Coin markets are driven by rarity and demand. When something is common, even if it is old or looks interesting, it usually does not command a huge price. But here is where things become truly interesting. The only way a 1995 Washington quarter could reach extremely high values, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars, is if it has a dramatic mint error. For example, a strong off-center strike, a major double die, or a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet can transform an ordinary quarter into a rare treasure. These types of mint mistakes are uncommon and highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins. It is important to understand that claims of millions of dollars for a regular 1995 quarter in dirty condition are not realistic in today's coin market. Even the rarest modern Washington quarters rarely reach 6 figures, and that usually requires a unique error and top professional grading. Becoming a billionaire overnight from a common 1995 quarter is not something supported by real market sales. True value comes from verified rarity, not just excitement or online rumors. Condition still matters greatly. If your coin is very dirty, cleaning it is not recommended. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on luster, strike quality, surface marks, and originality. A coin preserved in high mint state condition, untouched and uncleaned, will always attract more serious interest than one that has been altered. Another factor that can raise value is a high-grade certified example. Some collectors compete for coins graded MS67 or higher. In those top conditions, even common dates can bring strong premiums because they are difficult to find perfectly preserved. However, even then, prices are generally in the hundreds or low thousands, not millions. The excitement around pocket change treasures is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Stories of rare finds inspire people to check their change more carefully. And yes, rare coins do exist, but separating fact from fantasy is essential. The real treasure hunt lies in identifying genuine mint errors, understanding grading standards, and learning how the coin market truly works. If you believe your 1995 P quarter is unusual, perhaps it has a visible doubling in the lettering, an off-center design, or was struck on the wrong metal, the best step is to have it examined by an experienced coin dealer or submit it to a reputable grading service. Authentication is everything. Without professional verification, extraordinary claims carry little weight in the collector community. Remember, the power of a coin to change your fortune overnight does not come from its dirt or age alone. It comes from rarity, demand, and confirmed authenticity. A standard, heavily circulated 1995 P Washington quarter will almost always be worth face value. But a genuine, dramatic mint error from that same year could indeed surprise you with a significant premium. So keep searching your change, keep learning, and keep your expectations grounded in real numismatic knowledge. The 1995 P Washington quarter is a fascinating piece of American coinage history, and while it may not make you a billionaire overnight, understanding its true value can make you a smarter and more successful collector. And in the world of numismatics, knowledge is often the most valuable treasure of all. Next up, the 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark. We are referring to a coin from the legendary era of the Washington quarter series, one of the most collected coins in United States history. The year 1967 stands out because it was struck during a unique period in American coinage, when mint marks were intentionally removed from coins. Many collectors hear "no mint mark" and immediately think they have discovered a hidden treasure. But the real story behind this coin is both fascinating and important to understand before dreaming of overnight millions. In 1967, the United States Mint made a historic decision. From 1965 to 1967, mint marks were removed from all circulating coins to discourage coin hoarding during a national coin shortage. That means every genuine 1967 quarter will have no mint mark by design. It was not an error. It was official policy. So the absence of a mint mark on a 1967 quarter does not automatically make it rare or valuable. It simply means it was produced under that temporary rule. The 1967 quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design that has become one of the most recognizable images in American currency. On the reverse, you see the powerful eagle with outstretched wings, symbolizing American strength and unity. This classic design, introduced in 1932, gives the coin historical depth and emotional appeal, especially for collectors who love traditional U.S. silver-era designs. Even though by 1967, the quarter was no longer made of silver. One crucial fact many people overlook is composition. The 1967 Washington quarter is made of copper-nickel clad, not 90% silver like quarters minted before 1965. This change happened because rising silver prices forced the government to remove precious metal from circulating coinage. As a result, a regular 1967 quarter in circulated, even dirty condition, usually carries only face value, 25 cents, or slightly more in collector markets. Now let's talk about condition, because this is where value can begin to change. A very dirty 1967 quarter, heavily circulated with scratches, wear, and dull surfaces, is generally worth only its face value. Dirt does not increase value. In fact, cleaning a coin can damage it and lower its worth significantly. Serious collectors prefer original surfaces, even if toned naturally over time. Artificial cleaning or harsh polishing can permanently reduce collector interest. However, there are exceptions that can make a 1967 quarter worth far more than 25 cents. High-grade uncirculated examples, coins that were never used in commerce, can bring stronger prices. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services can sell for tens or even a few $100s depending on eye appeal and strike quality. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes in pristine condition. The real excitement begins with error coins. In rare cases, a 1967 quarter may have dramatic mint errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or major die breaks. These types of errors are uncommon and can significantly increase value. A spectacular error in certified high grade could reach hundreds or even a few $1,000s depending on rarity and demand. But these are extremely rare, and most 1967 quarters found in pocket change are normal issues. There is also collector buzz around transitional errors. For example, if a 1967 quarter were mistakenly struck on a silver planchet intended for 1964 quarters, such coins would be extraordinarily rare and valuable. A confirmed, authenticated transitional error could indeed sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, but such discoveries are exceptionally scarce and must be verified by professional grading experts. It is important to speak honestly about the idea of a 1967 quarter being worth millions. In normal circumstances, there is no verified record of a standard 1967 Washington quarter without mint mark selling for millions of dollars. Claims suggesting that every no-mint mark 1967 quarter can make someone a billionaire overnight are simply unrealistic. The coin was produced in large quantities. Hundreds of millions were minted, making it very common in circulated grades. That said, coin collecting is still powerful. A rare error, an ultra-high-grade certified example, or a unique mint anomaly could bring life-changing money under the right circumstances. The key is authentication and condition. If someone believes they have a rare error, the coin should be carefully examined and possibly submitted to a professional grading service. Never clean the coin, never polish it, and never assume rarity without verification. For collectors in places like Pakistan or anywhere around the world who find U.S. coins, the 1967 Washington quarter remains a beautiful piece of American monetary history. While most examples are worth only face value, the thrill of searching for errors keeps the hobby alive. Every coin tells a story of economic change, of metal shortages, of policy decisions, and of a nation adapting to financial pressure. In the end, the 1967 Washington quarter without mint mark is historically interesting, but usually not a millionaire maker in dirty circulated condition. Its true power lies not in fantasy prices, but in knowledge. Understanding mintage history, grading standards, and error varieties is what transforms an ordinary coin into a potential treasure. So if you have one, examine it carefully, protect it properly, and remember, in numismatics, rarity plus condition equals value, not just the absence of a mint mark. Next up, the 1994 D Washington quarter is a coin that many people overlook, but collectors know that even ordinary-looking quarters can sometimes hide surprising value. This coin is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor America's first president, George Washington. By 1994, the design had already become one of the most recognized coin images in the United States. On the obverse, you see Washington's familiar portrait, while the reverse features the powerful eagle design that was used before the state quarters program began in 1999. The D mint mark under the date shows that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1994, millions of these quarters were produced for circulation. They were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning they contain a pure copper core layered with nickel. Because of the high mintage, most 1994 D quarters found in pocket change are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, the story changes when condition, rarity, and especially minting errors come into play. In the world of coin collecting, even a common date coin can become extremely valuable if it has a rare and dramatic error. Now let's talk about the ultra-rare factor. A standard 1994 D quarter in very dirty, heavily circulated condition does not automatically make it valuable. Dirt, discoloration, and wear usually lower a coin's value rather than increase it. But if that same coin carries a major mint error, such as a dramatic double die, an off-center strike, a broad strike, or a wrong planchet error, its value can rise sharply. Collectors pay strong money for genuine, authenticated mint mistakes because they are accidental and limited in number. When people hear stories about coins worth millions, it usually involves unique error coins or one-of-a-kind specimens. For a 1994 D Washington quarter to reach extraordinary prices, it would need to be something extremely unusual, like being struck on the wrong metal intended for another denomination, or having a spectacular and verified minting defect. Without such features, even a well-preserved, uncirculated example typically sells for only a modest premium. In circulated and dirty condition, most 1994 D quarters trade at face value. If the coin shows heavy wear, scratches, environmental damage, or corrosion, its collector interest decreases further. Cleaning the coin is not recommended either, because improper cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce any potential collector value. Serious numismatists prefer original surfaces, even if they are toned or lightly dirty. However, in mint state condition, especially grades like MS65 or higher certified by professional grading services, a 1994 D quarter can sell for a higher price compared to circulated examples. High-grade coins with sharp luster, no visible wear, and minimal marks are always more desirable. Still, even in top condition, this date is generally not considered rare because so many were saved and preserved. It's important to separate hype from reality. Claims that an ordinary 1994 D quarter in dirty condition could make someone a billionaire overnight are not supported by the numismatic market. True million-dollar coins are usually historic rarities, early American issues, or unique mint errors that have been documented and auctioned publicly. Modern quarters from the 1990s rarely fall into that category unless something truly extraordinary is involved. That said, collectors should always examine their coins carefully. Look closely at the mint mark area for doubling, check the edges for unusual thickness, and inspect the overall strike. If something appears dramatically different from a normal quarter, it may be worth having the coin evaluated by a professional coin dealer or third-party grading service. Authentication is key because value depends on confirmed rarity. The Washington Quarter series itself remains one of the most collected coin series in U.S. history. From its beginning in 1932 through the modern era, it has captured the attention of generations. While most 1994 D examples are common, the thrill of searching through change keeps collectors excited. Sometimes, a small detail can transform a simple 25-cent coin into a sought-after collectible. Market value is always determined by supply and demand. If a rare 1994 D era coin appears at auction and multiple collectors compete for it, the price can climb quickly. But documented sales of regular 1994 D quarters do not reach extreme figures. Realistic values for circulated pieces remain at face value, while high-grade or error examples may range from a few dollars to potentially hundreds depending on rarity and condition. If you believe you have a special 1994 D quarter, handle it carefully. Do not clean it. Store it in a protective holder to prevent further damage. Even dirt can sometimes be safely evaluated by professionals who know how to conserve coins without harming them. Preservation plays a major role in maintaining any possible value. In conclusion, the 1994 D Washington Quarter is an interesting modern coin with potential only when paired with exceptional condition or verified mint errors. While exciting stories about life-changing fortunes capture attention, the true power in coin collecting comes from knowledge, patience, and careful research. Most dirty 1994 D quarters are worth 25 cents, but the dream of discovering something extraordinary is what keeps collectors searching, and that excitement is priceless. Next up, when people hear about a 1970 D Washington quarter, Most think of an ordinary 25-cent coin. But in the world of numismatics, certain rare varieties can turn an everyday coin into a collector's dream. The 1970 D Washington quarter struck at the United States Mint in Denver carries the D Mint mark. And while millions were produced, a few extraordinary error examples have captured massive attention in the coin-collecting community. These rare pieces are the ones that spark headlines, excitement, and the possibility of life-changing value. The Washington Quarter series itself began in 1932 to honor America's first president, George Washington. By 1970, the quarter was composed of a copper core layered with nickel, no longer made from silver as it had been before 1965. Most 1970 D quarters are common and worth only face value in circulated condition. However, the rare error varieties from this year are what truly ignite collector interest. One of the most famous and valuable types associated with 1970 is the 1970 D quarter struck over a 1941 Canadian quarter. This dramatic overstrike error is extremely rare and visually stunning. Under close inspection, traces of the earlier design can be seen beneath Washington's portrait. Because this was a minting accident and not a regular issue, only a very small number are known to exist. When such a coin appears at auction, it becomes the center of intense bidding wars. Now let's talk about value. In ordinary, very dirty and heavily circulated condition, a normal 1970 D quarter is worth just 25 cents. Dirt, scratches, and wear reduce eye appeal and collector demand. But if the coin is a confirmed rare error, even in circulated condition, the value can skyrocket into tens of thousands of dollars. The overstrike error example has sold for well over $30,000 in the past, depending on its condition and certification. That is a huge jump from its original face value. It is important to stay realistic. Stories about ordinary 1970 D quarters being worth millions are often exaggerated. The million-dollar range is usually reserved for legendary, one-of-a-kind coins in pristine condition with historical significance. For a 1970 D quarter to reach such unimaginable heights, it would have to be an extraordinary mint error, in exceptional condition, and heavily documented and authenticated by professional grading services. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A very dirty coin typically falls into lower circulated grades such as good G or very good VG. Dirt alone does not always reduce value if it can be safely cleaned by professionals, but harsh cleaning by the owner can permanently damage the surface and destroy collector interest. In coin collecting, originality and surface integrity are everything. If you believe you have something unusual about your 1970 D quarter, such as doubling, off-center strike, wrong planchet, or an overstrike, the first step is authentication. Professional grading companies examine the coin under magnification and verify whether the error is genuine. Without certification, even a rare coin may struggle to achieve top market value because buyers need confidence in authenticity. The excitement around coins like the 1970 D quarter comes from the possibility hidden in everyday change. Imagine finding a rare mint error in a coin jar or pocket change. That dream keeps collectors searching through rolls of quarters and estate collections. While becoming a billionaire overnight is extremely unlikely, discovering a rare error worth thousands is absolutely possible in the right circumstances. Market demand also influences value. When collectors are actively seeking a specific error variety, prices can surge. Auction results often set new records when two determined buyers compete for the same rare piece. The combination of rarity, verified authenticity, and strong demand is what drives high prices, not just the date or mint mark alone. For YouTube viewers and collectors, the key message is this: don't assume every 1970 D quarter is worth a fortune, but never ignore the possibility of a rare variety. Examine the mint mark carefully. Look for unusual details, doubling, strange outlines beneath the design, or mismatched features. Knowledge is your greatest tool in the coin world. If your coin is simply dirty and worn, its value will likely remain at face value. But if it is a confirmed rare mint error, even in circulated condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars. The difference between an ordinary quarter and a rare one often comes down to small details that only trained eyes can detect. In the end, the 1970 D Washington quarter teaches us a powerful lesson about coin collecting. Extraordinary value hides in the smallest details. While most examples are common, the rare error varieties remind us that history, chance, and minting accidents can transform 25 cents into a treasure. So before you spend that old quarter, take a closer look. Because in rare cases, a simple coin can truly change your financial story.